Hello, dear friends. A warm welcome to each one of you today on the International Fab Talk Show. We are very glad to have you with us each day. And today we have a special guest with lots of experience and lots of goodies to share with you. He is a person well-versed in training others, in training students, corporate level officers, and the list goes on. Before I introduce our guest officially, first I'd like to thank our guest for being with us today on this special day to share our journey on the International Fab Talk Show. I would like to invite Mr. Dilip Pinto today, a behavioral and a soft skill trainer. Sir, welcome, sir, on this special.
Thank you for inviting me and considering me worthy.
Yes, sir. So we are very happy that you've accepted our invitation. Thank you so much. You'd like to say something else, sir?
No, it's okay. We'll get started. So we'll share it as we take one step at a time.
Yeah, sure, sir. My dear friends, today I will formally introduce our guest. Sir, that is Dilip Pinto, sir. Mr. Dilip Pinto has been a great person and has been transforming lives. Not one or two, not even 1,000. Over 60,000 people from different walks of life, from the banking and finance industry, from the IT industry, the pharmaceutical industry, consumer durable goods. In that sector, he's been training, and on the soft skill front, jewelry showrooms, aviation department, hospitals, and professional educational institutions. Currently, our guest is involved in training and developing activities in the area of behavioral science, with the main focus on communication and presentation skills. And above all, time management, personal development programs, interview and group discussion techniques. And he excels everywhere, wherever he, is present and wherever he graces the occasion. And our sir today, or the guest of ours today, I'm becoming emotional when you say 60,000, I have gone like 60,000 and above. And sir has participated in the GAMESTORM Masterclass 2023, and he's a certified Life Academy, he's certified by the Life Academy, affiliated to the International Institute for Professional Experience and Excellence, that is in Canada. I'd like to repeat myself: certified by Life Academy, affiliated to International Institute for Professional Excellence, Canada, as outbound trainer in 2022, and game-oriented active learning facilitator in 2019, a visiting faculty, LTA School of Beauty, India's most preferred international beauty school, Clinical Research Institute with management studies and online education. And our guest has featured on many programs, for example, THODI MASTI THODA GYAN, telecast on Hindi Consumer Business Channel, CNBC AWAAZ, and Yuva Bharat on ETV Marathi. Listed in leading newspapers like Mumbai Times, Hindustan Times, Education Times, Westside Plus, Mumbai Mirror, Midday, etc. And dear friends, the list goes on. Sir has been giving his services, has been touching lives in various sectors and various groups and organizations. I'll just share a few. It is Maruti Suzuki, Asian Paints, then again Datamatics Global Services, GlaxoSmithKline, Liberty General Insurance, HDFC Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Punjab National Bank, and the list goes on. And if I go on reading, time hi ho jayega. I'll be hardly having some time to interview him personally. So my dear sir, welcome today to our session on the International Fab Talk Show.
Thank you
very much, sir. So now maybe go on with the next question, sir. Not the next question, the first question for you today.
After this fantastic advertisement, the product should live up to the expectations.
Yes, sir. But we would like to know, who is really Mr. Dilip Pinto, the inner person, the person who's ready to give such a lot to the society, to give himself entirely to enriching the lives of others. We want to know the real you. Could you please define who or describe who is Mr. Dilip Pinto?
Okay. To guess it, let me start a little bit, delve into my childhood, because I think the whole thing would emerge from there only. I actually don't like to talk so much about it, but then yes, when we are talking about certain things which actually change the trajectory of your life, it is essential that one has to delve into the childhood. I lost my dad when I just went into 8th standard, and we lost him to blood cancer, and that is at that point of time it was very emotionally as well as financially draining. We were virtually raised to the ground like what happened to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But then my mother was a very brave person, and at that point of time, I remember many people used to come home and tell her, Mrs. Pinto, why don't you tell the principal, tell father to waive off the fees? But since she was working with a multinational company, she said, no, there must be many people who are worse off than me. So let me see till the time I can pull along. So she was very, very resilient. She actually bounced back from that tragedy that we went through. So, I'm quite highly inspired by that film Trishul. In that, what Vaida Rehman, who plays the role of Amitabh Bachchan's mother, she says, "Zindagi mein kabhi kamzor mat banna." So, in fact, along the way, I have actually imbibed some of the qualities of resilience, etc., from her only. And yes, as my dream ambition is to ensure that there are no old age homes in India. Because I actually came back, I was working abroad. I came on my annual vacation. I didn't come with plans to relocate. And since my aunt said that you are fortunate enough to see mother alive, so without battling an eyelid, I just sent my resignation from here only. So I was actually very comfortably ensconced, staying on the ground floor, working on the first floor, fantastic salary, and pollution-free environment, as we call it in Abu Dhabi, which is today the richest city in the world. So, and so that is the reason, I have learned a great deal that, how to fight adversity also. And maybe because of that giving attitude, because I still remember my mother never held grudges against people. The most she used to always say, whether it is birth or a death in the family or some sickness, in spite of her severe osteoarthritis, she would make it a point to visit those families wherever people were suffering. So maybe along the way, I imbibed some of those qualities. So I'm quite warm and gentle at heart, a go-to person. I even in my work life also, like the institute where recently I was, there were times I have stayed back late till 11 o'clock, going beyond the call of. As I always tell people, I'm not a clock watcher when I'm on the job. So that is the reason, Kavita was mentioning that only, that don't stay back so late. But then, as I mentioned, I'm not a clock watcher. So when people come to us for something, I always feel and I tell people that I'm in the business to help people. If I cannot help them, I have no business to be in the business. So that I guess is one of the things which endures me to most of my participants. Even post the programs, they can always consult me. I'm always available for counseling. I don't say advice because advice is the worst advice that one can give. But I'm always available for them because whatever I feel today, whatever I am, is because of what their love and affection that they have showered upon me over these years. So I am very warm and amiable always. And some time ago, when I participated in this masterclass program, which you just told me, I was awarded also as the most giving person. So there's a small trophy that was awarded to me on that day. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. So always the go-to person. Yes. Always, I'm like what we call as the pacifist in the family. So I don't like frictions, etc. I'm always trying to bridge those differences of opinion that we may have among family members.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, sir. You are really very approachable, very warm. So when the Fab Talk team connected with you, we didn't get, we didn't have to wait to get your reply. You were so humble and polite to accept our invitation. Thank you, sir, so much. Thank you very much. That speaks volumes, the way you explained yourself so well and described who you really are.
The only delay was by a week because till Monday I was busy with the other one. No? Yes. Kavita knows my quality, so she actually calls me way back in March only. She had informed me that sometime around August to September first week, I'll be associated with the school that she is in. Yes. So I just finished that on Monday. I wanted 2 days to rehearse the whole thing because I just don't walk into something because it should be considered serious enough. Right, right. Thank you, sir, so much. Sir, how do you manage stress on the professional front? How do you de-stress? Okay. See, as I said, we are continuously under the scanner when we are in this profession, because people have very high expectations. Like even when I went to Reliance, the GM HR, he was in a meeting. So he said that, you know, Dilip, we know about your reputation. You know, people call you this, that, etc. But you just answer one simple question for me. This All India, Pan India project will be yours. So that was one of the stress, because a Pan India project that was at stake. But I was able to. He just asked me what is effective communication, and the answer to that itself backed us the entire Pan India project. So one of the participants there mentioned that, sir, one thing I like about you is you play music during your training programs. So, I said, yeah, that I know, because you all don't get time to listen to music by the time you return back home from your work. So I said, why not de-stress you all here itself? So that is the way, like, on the job also I de-stress. And of course, I'm very energetic. So when I deal with the youngsters, I also generally don't use the lift while I'm climbing the stairs, etc. So because if I have to make them run, then I also need to be active like the typical football referee. So I de-stress, and I have got a huge collection of songs. So whenever I get the free time between the breaks of the training, I just play these songs. So even for Union Bank of India, when we did a program, the participants were a little higher level. So I actually played songs which would suit their age. Then I made even the senior branch managers of Central Bank of India dance to all my tunes, as I call it. It was a stress management session. So I said, what better way than to de-stress by listening to music? And I actually attended one program by the legendary Shankar Mahadevan, in which he had actually told us the importance of music in de-stressing the lives of people. So he is regularly visiting Larsen and Toubro. So he had told us about it. So I said, oh, this is one cue. So whenever I've attended management programs, I always go with the feeling that today, if I get one new point in this program, then definitely it will be time worth spent. So then after 99 points, I start generating where I can utilize them.
Great, sir. Great. Very nice, sir. So music plays an important role to de-stress. That's really very true, and true in my case as well as our guest. Thank you very much, sir. So how were you as a little kid? Mischievous, shy?
No, I was quite, actually, if you see, there is a huge transition from what I am today and what I was as a kid. I was quite introvert, and today it is actually exactly the opposite. But not exactly too shy, but then quite obedient and sincere. To be very frank, my mother only came twice to school. Those were not complaints about me. Actually, what had happened was I had passed the subjects, but the teachers by oversight had given less marks. So my mom had to come to school to actually just rectify that, because it was leading to failure. And so that was one thing I had never learned, because I was always among the top rankers in my class. So suddenly this came as a big setback. So my mother had to actually come to get those problems rectified rather than anything else.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Very nice. So who is your inspiration or role model in life, sir?
Okay. I can think of three of them rather than one only, because of course the biggest role model I've already told is my mother only. And she has been very instrumental in ensuring that, she gave me the freedom to operate it, that, etc. And never interfered in the choice of the career, as most parents generally do. And another, of course, the very legendary lady Prime Minister of our country, Indira Gandhi, because she had the might to take on people, superpowers, and actually get those nuclear blasts conducted way back in 1975 or so. And the most inspirational person I can think of is when I was in Abu Dhabi, our President and ruler of Abu Dhabi, His Highness Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, because he was one person with tremendous vision and foresight who could convert the desert into what is today the richest city in the world.
Great, great, sir. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing your role model and inspiration as well. And not one, there are more than one. Yes, that's beautiful, sir.
You always give credit wherever it is.
Yes. Absolutely, sir. So that's the beauty of our guest's mind. He has a beautiful mindset, finding the good in others, looking at the brighter side of life. That's what our guest is all about today, and ready to share his journey. Yes, sir. Would you like to share something?
No, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir. So do you like reading books?
Yes, very much. Nowadays, of course, I read the checkbook more than anything else. Earlier, yes. Whatever money I would save, I would actually invest in books. I have read quite a few. Now, my today's condition is I have got too many books, no time to read actually, if you ask. Because I read newspapers now. But books, yes, quite a few of them have been very, very instrumental also. Because I borrow a lot from those also.
Any favorite books, sir? You could remember the name of any favorite books as that are.
There are two actually. One I learned transactional analysis to one of India's best, Mr. Narimitran, an ex-advisor HR of Procter & Reef. So that games people play in which transactional analysis is, it's a little bit technical, but it's a fantastic game. Then there were series leading from that. And the other one has been The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. So these two have actually had a profound impact. Then I also read You Can Win by Shiv Khera, which I feel is quite possible to implement some of the things mentioned there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing those beautiful, the names of those beautiful books or the title of those books. Thank you, sir, so much. Sir, how would you want to be remembered in the world? Log aapko kaise yaad kare?
Well, that is, of course, a scary thing also, but at the same time, yes, I would always like to be remembered like, a person whom we could approach at any time, available virtually 24/7, and always ready to help and counsel, etc. Because even as I mentioned, I go beyond the call of duty. So many times it happens. When I went to a place very close to Shirdi way back in March, when I was conducting training, one of the participants said, "Sir, may I bring my son along to you? Because I think he requires your guidance based on what I learned in the session today." So I said, "Yeah, please go ahead and do that." So he came to meet me post the training. So I guess this go-to approach is one of the best. In fact, since you asked me this question, I attended one program where we were all asked, "What is your USP? What is the specialty?" So I said, "After sales service." So immediately they said, "In training, what do you call it after sales service?" So I said, "No, I'm available for to guide anybody whenever they require me." I never looked at it that why didn't you ask during the course of the session.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Very nice. Thank you so much, sir. Now, sir, may I know which is your favorite movie?
Trishul, which I already mentioned to you because there is one dialogue which is edged here. जो काम दूसरों ने 25 बरस में किया है मुझे 1 बरस में करना है. So this I generally tell at the beginning of every training program. What you have not done in the last few years, I have to do in 1 day, or sometimes as I recently did at the KBS, you have to do it in 6 days.
Ji, very nice. Can you repeat that sentence once again, sir? Could you do that?
Yeah. It says, जो काम दूसरों ने 25 बरस में किया है मुझे 1 बरस में करना है.
And that is a takeaway.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a takeaway for me and our audience. Yes, sir.
That is the real punchline that I give to the audience. Beautiful. In fact, I shared this with Kotak Mahindra Bank also, and most of the banks also. Because Kotak Mahindra Bank was not among the top class, a few years ago. But I just hammered this into them, and I said that if we want to be different from the other banks, then this is what we need to do. And I'm happy that today, Kotak has reached a stage, among the top recognized banks in the country.
Yes, sir. I love that punchline. And that quote, what you did not do in 25 years, you could do it in 1 year, or maybe those who have taken 25 years to do something, you could try and do it in 1 year, or maybe 1 day, you can work your magic.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
so
very nice.
We are always under pressure. This is a stress.
Yes. Sir, are you interested in sports and games even now? If not now, as a kid, did you enjoy sports and games?
No, not only now. In fact, just last night, our son asked, when can we go to the turf to play football? So we are looking forward to, because now the Ganpati festival is on. The moment that gets over, then the children will accommodate. I play according to the rules of the game. The first thing I check is what are the rules of the game. So accordingly, they have a tough time because our son's classmate once mentioned that uncle plays perfectly to the T to the rules. So football we play because that is a game which I love a great deal, because it teaches you certain management principles like planning, coordinating, strategizing, teamwork, all these. So that is one game which actually one learns a lot. That what happens if one tries to achieve glory, etc.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Sir, what type of a change would you want to bring in the world if you were you are already a transforming a coach, a transformational coach, you could say, a person who's ready to transform others, guide others. So what type of a change would you want to see in the world, sir? Or what type of a change you would work on to bring into the world?
Well, it hurts me a great deal right now because I always tell people that when God made human beings, He made human beings to love each other. But nowadays, the kind of rapes that you see, the war that is happening in Ukraine, where there's hardly any scarce concern for human life. So that is the reason I feel like there should be peace in the world. And I have a few songs which I actually play as part of that. One is "Heal the World" by Michael Jackson. Then there is "Imagine" by John Lennon. Then there is "We Are the World." So and "From a Distance" by Betty Midler. So these are some of the 4 songs which I regularly play in my training program, so that people get the message that let's not have rapes. So let's have a maximum here to ensure that there is peace and tranquility in the world.
Great, sir. Very nice, sir. So when do you plan to retire?
See, as of now, there are some social goals like there is a family, that lady whom we know. She lost her son a few years ago, and the children are quite young. So we have my wife and I, we have actually taken up that responsibility. So somewhere along the way to assist them financially and with whatever material needs, etc. So I think till the time they reach the beginning of their careers as well, I think at least another the youngest is about not even 10. So I guess the next 12 years will be dedicated to that only, to take them to a career, because they have been actually let go by people saying that. And this boy, being a Catholic, he married a Muslim girl. So they suddenly started telling his mother that वो तुम्हारी बहू की responsibility हो गई. So better, so we thought that let's take up that responsibility.
Great, sir. Very nice, sir. That's so nice. Unity in diversity, as we all know that, dear friends. Now let's ask our guest, smart work and hard work. What is the difference between smart work and hard work, sir?
Okay, I attended one session where we were actually taught the difference. So many times people have this concept of smart work. My concept is different, I'll say later. But what the facilitator that day told us is that smart work is in fact more hard work, because you have to actually, in addition to hard work, you have to think more as to how to actually leverage certain things, etc., possibilities, etc. So I am looking at it. I'm working on that only, smart work, as to how, like, I remember when I was into recruitment before I got into training, my boss, Mr. E. Chandran, used to always say that it is better we place few general manager level personnel rather than go down the line and place those receptionists and executive secretaries, because the yield that you will get from general managers is much more than what you get through the lower run. So I guess that is what I learned, the difference between smart work and hard work.
Great, sir. Wonderful, sir. So the question next coming up for you, sir, is do you have any dream projects? And if yes, the choice is yours to reveal it or keep it a secret. You could just answer yes or no.
No, I do have it. It is my dream to ensure that, many times these trainers and facilitators are actually strangulated by the vendors. So it is my dream that, everybody should become a millionaire in about 6 months. And so I don't promote the lower projects at all. And what I do is I'm trying to ensure that they become millionaires in 6 months. Then next 6 months they can have their vacation, and after 6 months again come back to me saying that, do we have any such project whereby we can work for 6 months and enjoy holidays for 6 months? That is actually my dream.
Great, sir. Beautiful. So sweet. You've also shared your dream project. That is really nice. I like that. And dear sir, what brings a smile on your face? We've always seen you smiling. We've never seen you like angry or maybe upset most of the time. There's always a smile on your face. So what's the secret to that smile?
In fact, I remember one college, I had given that assignment to the girls. It was a girls' college. I had given one assignment on a Saturday, and Monday when I asked them, homework किया क्यों नहीं तुम लोग ने? So they said, sir, हम लोग को पता है आपको गुस्सा नहीं आता है ना? And very shamelessly said, sir, आपको गुस्सा नहीं आता है ना, इसलिए हमने नहीं किया. So and I just, it was random, and then the thing is, I always try to maintain a cheerful disposition, because unnecessarily stressing, and what was the say was definitions, 206 muscles to frown and 14 muscles to smile, etc. So I guess I always adhere to that, because even very recently at this Konya Business School where I was researching, one girl asked me, that said, we have never seen you, grumpy or doing something like that. You don't feel irritated by some of the behavior of the students. So I cannot allow my life remote control to be in their hands. So I take things as they go, because if they are serious about their careers, it is better. So I've never allowed these external influences to actually impact. I have always felt that it's better to have a cheerful discussion all the, because we are in such a profession. We cannot have to afford to have a grumpy look also.
Absolutely, sir. Right. You're exactly right, on the right track. That is how a great trainer is, a great coach, a great mentor. You cannot be grumpy. You should always have that smile on your face, just like our guest, who is ready to smile no matter in what situation he is. He's ready to take up all the challenges with a smile on his face. Yes, dear sir. The next question coming up is, what is your weakness?
Actually, I have a weakness for sweets, and more specifically for gulab jamuns. In fact, when my students get selected, I always ask them that only one prize. I tell them that you have to get me half a kilo gulab jamuns.
Oh. Yeah.
But thankfully, we got this no physical ailments. No? So when the time is right, one should enjoy maximum the sweets.
Very well said. So when the time is right, you just have to enjoy your life, eat all the necessary things that are required.
Correct.
Of course, like sir said, he loves gulab jamuns, right?
Great. Yes, very much. Yes. And in fact, I would add to that, when I started my career, we used to have many of our management development programs at Taj Hotel or at Oberoi. Then it was Oberoi, now it's Trident. So invariably, I used to always tell the staff there that I don't bother about what food you are serving for the guests, but make sure at least dessert is something which I can enjoy. So we can have the hot gulab jamuns with vanilla ice cream. So one day our director came and he told me, why every day they're having only gulab jamuns? He didn't know actually who was deciding the menu.
Yes, yes, very nice, and thanks for sharing, sir. So, आपको कभी डर लगता है?
Yeah, I'm a human being, so definitely that's great. But I can say that what is that Mountain Dew? डर के आगे जीत है.
डर के आगे जीत है. Beautiful, wonderful, excellent. डर के आगे जीत है. Definitely, friends, that is very true. Overcome your fears, face it. That's really
Correct.
I love the way you put that. डर के आगे जीत है. That's very nice.
In fact, when we did a program for Kotak Mahindra Bank, we used to share it with them. What is fear? Fear is nothing but false evidence appearing real.
Right. Sir. Very nice. Beautifully said. So, if you are not now a professional coach, I mean, a soft skill trainer, a behavioral, a trainer in the present training industry, what would you have become? अगर ये नहीं थे आप जो हैं अभी, तो क्या बनते थे? Doctor, teacher, engineer, business person, what?
No, I think I've been the chosen one by God. That fortunately I've been into a profession which I've always liked, because as I mentioned, since I lost my dad at a young age, my teachers always inspired me. So I could actually become a resilient person only thanks to their efforts. So whether it was in school, subsequently at one of the most glamorous colleges of Bombay, Mitibai College, and NMIMS, it was always my teachers who inspired them. So I revered them greatly. Even so many years down the line, we must have lost some of them also. But yes, very much. I think I could never think of something beyond. So I think God has been very kind to me and given me a profession which I dearly love, and I was inspired. I used to always think, when I used to see my teachers, one day I also should be standing there and people should be listening to me like this. So I guess God has been very kind to me because of that.
Great, sir. Beautiful, sir. Very nice. So, your favorite movie is Trishul, right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
Would you mind singing a song from Trishul? Just 2 lines.
Yeah. I'm not a very good singer. My wife is a professional singer, but I will try my level best. मोहब्बत बड़ी काम की चीज है, काम की चीज है. Then the other one, of course, is Lata Mangeshkar. So I might not be able to get that female vocal tune. And then Amitabh Bachchan comes in and Yasuda says, "Ye bekar be daam ki cheez hai, daam ki cheez hai." Then again Sajida Bajan, "Ye kudrat ke naam ki cheez hai." So always, I always feel that mohabbat सचमुच बड़े काम की चीज है.
Great, sir. Great. You have a good voice.
Oh, thank you.
Good advice. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And the best part is thanks for obliging. Thanks for
Yeah,
taking up the challenge. So, like
absolutely.
this, dear team, we just make it difficult for our guests sometimes to answer a given question or to oblige a certain request. And so, our guest is someone who's ready to take up all challenges, no matter what it is. He goes with the flow. Thank you, sir, so much.
My
Very
pleasure. Yeah.
nice. So, your favorite color, sir, and why? You love that color?
I think my wife always said that it's always been white only. She says, I've never seen you wearing any other color. In fact, my another friend also, she also mentions that looks like Dilip doesn't have any other clothes in his wardrobe other than white all along. I guess it was possibly inspired by my uh, dad because he had a huge plethora of white garments only. And that time we had this Ranipal and Tinopal, all those optical brightness to keep them white. So it has undoubtedly it is white because it signifies both peace and purity. And even by coincidence, my wife also loves to wear white. So at least we may differ on certain things, but at least on those things we are on common ground.
Ji, sir. Yes, sir. Very nice. So, your favorite subject in school?
While my favorite subject was science, but I can attribute it. Secondly, I can say English also because today, whatever I have developed the love for the Queen's language and teaching that also was greatly inspired by our Canada trained teacher, Miss Budrani. So, and I still remember she had beautiful handwriting. So my D of my signature is actually modeled on her only. That is like a greatest remembrance of her and a tribute to her. The moment I used to win my sports 100 meters dash or something, I used to run to her and say, Miss, you will please write my certificate. So it was like I used to blackmail her into writing my certificate because she had a beautiful handwriting.
Great, sir. So nice. I guess she's your favorite teacher?
Yes, very much. She was very strict, no doubt. But then I guess that was the time it is required to actually discipline us also because it was an all boys school. It was a co-ed school earlier, but unfortunately we could not have that pleasure of interacting with girls. So because by the time we came into the secondary, it became an only boys school.
Yes, sir. Very nice, sir. Thank you so much. So, one quote or a proverb from your side?
Quote or a proverb? Okay. I would actually, I'm highly inspired by this. As I said, I carry certain things here etched on my forehead. Another one is this one by Jensen and Nicholson, and another by the company called Blue Star as well. Now, Jensen and Nicholson was, when it can't be done, it must be done. So, certain things like that. That is one. And the other one was of Blue Star, where Blue Star is to say, why didn't we think of that before? And down the road, that's what the competition says every time Blue Star launches a new product. So this is like thinking differently, the ability to think differently, etc. And plus the other one is, as I very rightly said, that when you feel that certain things cannot be done, then you should actually look it up as a challenge. Why it can't be done?
Great, sir. I like this. When it can't be done, it must be done.
Right? Yes, by the Jensen and Nicholson Paints, they used to say that.
Very nice, very nice. It's a takeaway for all of us, and especially me too. If you say you can't, you have to get it done. Could you repeat that properly, sir, for us? Could you repeat that once more?
When it can't be done, it must be done.
Beautiful, wonderful. When it can't be done, it must be done. You have to, work on it and see that it is done.
Very nice. It's called as perseverance, actually.
Yes, perseverance. Thank you so much, sir. So, do you love pets?
I do love pets, but only thing is I don't have one at home now because pet grief is really too hard to bear. We had a Doberman and female one, and everybody used to always say, इसके जैसा साधु Doberman हम लोग ने आज तक जिंदगी में नहीं देखा. So my cousin used to sit on her and twist her ears and saying, "You are my hero Honda" and all. But she also, knew very well that they are just playing around. And after her death on 21st of November 99 onwards, we never kept a pet at home because that pet grief was too hard to digest. So after that, we are now, our son and I both, we are very strong animal lovers. So we believe that it's better to care for the uncared. So we take a lot of care of the strays in our area, both cats as well as dogs. And he's much more than me. He will just go and directly touch those also. I get scared. I don't go there. But he straight away goes. And he says also that maybe because they know they can distinguish genuine animal lovers.
Yes, beautiful, sir. Very nice. Thank you so much for sharing about the love that you have, not only for human beings, but also for other living beings. Thank you so much, sir. Dear sir, I just show you a glass. Now, this is a cup.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Yes. Now, is your cup half full or half empty? How will you look at it?
Okay. See, when I'm thirsty, even a half a glass of water will quench my thirst. So it is, I always say it is a half glass full is worthwhile rather than not having anything at all. I will not be like this, that how which we saw, is this Philips purified water, etc. At that point of time, when you're thirsty, you want to quench your thirst. But on the other end of the spectrum, it is a cocktail party. For a person, the half glass whiskey matters a lot. So there are both ends of the spectrum to that. For me, the water is important. For the other person, it's a whiskey, which is more important. So we have to look at both the sides of the coin. But I've always felt that, something is better than nothing. So at that point of time, yes, you should not think about riches at all.
Yes, very well said, sir. Very nice. Very humble and very polite. A content person, our guest, to share whatever he has with others. That's the mindset of our guest. Dear sir, we go on to the next question. Which one would you prefer to go if you get a chance? The zoo is very close to your house and the sanctuary is very far. But now you're given a choice to go to either of these places. Which one would you select?
I guess it is the zoo only because, as you mentioned, the zoo is nearer. But still, if you ask me, I prefer none of the above because animals are meant to be living free. Okay, so I still remember when I went to Kana for a training program, I saw this deer, walk in such a nice, disciplined manner. Like generally, when the school gets over, all the children move in a single file. And I wanted to go very close to take a video. Then that person, he just alerted me. He said, "No, sir, please, aap udhar mat jaiye because otherwise, they will go helter-skelter because you are a stranger. They know us." So, but I found one thing, that animals are so well disciplined and they were walking in such a single file, like such obedient children, like in school. So that was one thing I really enjoyed there. And yes, we visit the zoo often. Now our Baikal Zoo also has, this time they have created that crocodile enclosure. And yeah, we are hopeful that some more animals will be there. But then if you ask me personally, I feel that captivity should not be there. But the tragedy is, yeah, our children otherwise will not be able to see animals at close range.
Great, great.
We have seen the tigers also at a distance. So in Mangalore, there's this Pilikula Zoo, biological zoo. It's a huge place. So there we have actually seen the tigers move about freely. So that really looks nice.
Great, sir. Great. Thanks for sharing everything so sweetly and so nicely and being a genuine person, sir. Dear sir, how many languages could you speak?
5 directly and 2 indirectly. English, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati and Konkani. Okay, these are the 5 directly. And Arabic and French in that sequence. But French is virtually now relegated like a residual language. And Malayalam and Bengali I do understand, but I don't speak it so much. So it's a little bit less diminishing in that order.
Great, great, sir. So are you a good listener or a speaker or both?
It depends actually on my profession at that point of time. If you ask me, occupational hazard demands that I be a good speaker. So, and at the same time, when during the course of the program, sometimes listening to me, some of the participants, they feel that I could be of assistance to them. So one of the doctors in my batch on a Sunday, she told me that, sir, after the program, I want to spend some time with you. So is it okay? So as I mentioned that, going beyond the call of duty, I told her, okay, if you trust me, then it's okay. We can speak. So that is the reason I listened to her. So that time I become a listener. Like even when I am conducting these interviews for students, the mock interview session, I am a better listener at that point of time. And I have to multitask. I have to listen to them and simultaneously jot down also certain points at the same speed.
Great, great. So very well explained, that one should be a good listener at the right time and a good speaker at the right time. And so our guest is a perfectionist in that, a good listener, a great listener, and a wonderful speaker.
When my wife speaks, I am a listener.
Yes, yes. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. So if you had a superpower, if you are given the gift of a superpower, what would you pick up? What would you choose?
Okay, this is the typical case, like, the Midas touch also,
Yes.
as well as the fisherman and his wife story. So I would possibly, if you ask me, I think, see, we may not be able to change everybody as such, but I would possibly say the only one power that I would like to change is to have peace in the world, because there is too much of unrest happening at this point of time. So that would be my biggest, because I feel if human beings are made to love each other, so if we have that caring, empathy, etc. for each other, because I get very distressed when an accident takes place and people are not ready to help. Everybody feels that who wants to get entangled in all this. So that is the reason I feel that if there is peace and caring and empathy, then it would be great. That's why I mentioned that song "Imagine" by John Lennon. I am highly inspired by that one.
Great, sir, great. So our guest would like to have a superpower to bring back peace into the world. And so we come to understand his mindset. He's a great humanitarian, loves to give back to the society. And sir says that he's really stressed out and hurt when people do not take care of, an accident victim. And I've, sir, many times I have seen personally, including myself, been at different spots like this. We have seen people just taking out their mobiles and take out, instead of taking out a video, let them take out that and call. So many times I have been doing that. My team has been doing that. If you have ever come across an accident, site, immediately we ring up, call up for the ambulance, inform, alert the police.
Right.
That's what we have to do. No taking out videos and posting it here and there and just being an onlooker.
That is a totally apathy that they have, which hurts me more. I remember last year on 4th of July 2022, a student of mine, when I was in Aurangabad, he had called me to his place for dinner, and on my way back, an accident had taken place. And as you mentioned, people were just taking this video. And there was a terrible traffic jam on that flyover. So I asked my student that I can understand in Bombay, this traffic jam at this point of time at 10:30 in the night. But how is it in Aurangabad? It is at 10:30 in the night. Then he told him, just take your bike nearer. Then we saw one person, he had actually fallen off his scooter because the road was skidding also, since it was drizzling a bit. And people, as usual, taking the mobile and doing that. And what had happened was, because of one car had parked here, and people had to navigate this way. So that time I had to use my management skills. I told that couple who were, when we said when you want to help, even God somehow send you some angels. So I told that couple, can you please bring your car this side? So that what happens is, let's open up that lane for these onlookers, because they're not going to do anything. So we did that, and then afterwards I told my students, see, there is a pharmacy nearby. Why don't you just rush there and get whatever Savlon, Dettol, whichever antiseptic you get, so that we can clean his wounds, etc. So that's what hurts me, that so many people see something happening, but they do not bother to be of any help only.
Right, sir, right. That's so nice. Very nice. Thanks for sharing that incident, sir, with us. Beautiful, sir. Sir, should we prioritize mental health, or should we take some more years to understand the importance of, creating mental health awareness?
I guess this is something which has to be taken on, topmost priority, if you ask me, and primarily at school, because unfortunately what has happened is the system has actually pushed, too much emphasis on academics, performance, etc. all along. With the result that children who are talented in some other field, they feel suppressed because and stifled. What I feel is that there are sufficient avenues available for children to pursue their talent. Because I attended one career fair in which we were told there are about 180 different professions that people can pursue after their 10th standard. So, when I still remember, I don't know today whether it has changed, but when we were in school, it was very clear. 75% and upwards by default, they would get into science. 60 to 75 would go into commerce. And those who are considered worthless, and 60% and below, invariably they would go into arts. But today, fortunately, the whole thinking has changed. Like one of the colleges where our son was actually likely to get admission, they asked for 95% for arts, St. Xavier's College. So I'm happy that the paradigm has slowly shifted from the conservative thinking that we were in earlier. When I was in college, after everybody asked me in 12th, because I was a science student, what will you do after 12th? You'll go for engineering or medicine? I used to say I'll become a compounder, Because if there are too many doctors, then where is the compounders for them?
Great, great, sir. Very nice. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing. That's nice. So, if at all you had a time machine, just you should imagine this question. Yeah, just think of assumption, you could say, not assumption, imagination. Yeah, if you had a time machine in your hand and you just clicked a button that would take you into the past, पुराने जमाने में, वहां पर जाके आप किसी और का जिंदगी जीना है. You have to live somebody else's life. Whose life would you want to relive?
Okay, somebody else's life. This is quite a tricky question, but let me answer it because I don't, as I said, resilience, perseverance, etc. So I can't give it up. Possibly, I would look at a very inspirational, charismatic Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, because he was the one who brought technology into the country. So maybe I would like to get back into his days, because he also by default came into politics. He was also ensconced very comfortably as a pilot, left it all and sacrificed. So maybe possibly I would like to get back to it, because these celebrities, status children, they have continuously under the microscope. So possibly to find out that one can stay grounded in spite of a celebrity status.
Great.
Possibly, I think he would be one person.
Great.
I remember his interview with Rendezvous with Sini Gariwal. So both were wearing white.
Great, sir. Wonderful, sir. In fact, a fine gentleman, a great humanitarian. Yes, sir. Yes, very nice. Thank you for that answer, sir. Thank you. Next question coming up, sir, for you is like, what type of a change from this very second, as I'm talking to you, अब से लेके इस क्षण से लेके आगे 50 आने वाली 50 साल, the next 50 years, what are the changes you would like to see in the society? Or you could answer it like this: what type of changes will be there in the next 50 years?
Okay, I guess there will be a recognition as far as education goes, because we are now traditionally moving out from those old fixed mindsets that it's only if it is science it has to be engineer MBA, if it is commerce it has to be if it is science it has to be a doctor or an engineer, commerce it has to be a CA or MBA, arts then maybe teaching or lawyer. So we are slowly moving out of the mindset. So I feel that a lot of avenues will be available to our future children to select from. Maybe they can get into cooking, or as I said, LTA School of Beauty, beautician, etc. So they make. The only thing I fear is I hope we don't suffer from severe droughts, because when I was returning from Bhopal a few years ago, one gentleman, co-passenger IIT, and he told me that Dilip, unfortunately, the groundwater levels in India are sinking very badly. So maybe we have to go deeper down to get water. So I hope that we preserve this natural resource as much as we can, do what is called water recycling and rainwater harvesting, all those. So I foresee that maybe somewhere along the way, adversity will come in, and people will be forced to think out of the box and differently, definitely.
Yes, very nice, sir. So, how do you take constructive criticism? How will you explain that?
Okay. See, since we are in the profession where at every program there is something called as a feedback. So I have always felt that many of the programs people rate you very, very well, etc. So I deliberately tell them that make sure you give me some 4 also, or not 5 out of 5 every time, because that will at least leave me with some scope for improvement. Because otherwise, what happens is complacency sets in. So I always tell people that bouquets and brickbats both are welcome at the end of, especially online sessions. Because in offline, at least you know what people are doing, etc. You can be involved with them. But online sessions, I definitely tell them that whatever it is, good or bad, you let me know, so that it will help me to prepare for the next session.
Beautiful.
Recently, we are doing a program for a multinational company, and people felt that it was a little bit of a lecture session. So for the next session that I did, I involved them more. I introduced some surveys, quiz, etc. activities, so that it became more interactive. So I have to look at it. Sometimes what happens is somebody should show you the mirror, as I call it.
Wow.
Criticism is something like that.
Great, great. I like the way you put it. Somebody should show you the mirror to know who you really are, no?
Absolutely.
Yes, to get a honest and a genuine feedback, and constructive criticism works wonders in the right way.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So, Are you you just answer yes or no. Are you a forgiving person? माफ कर देते हैं लोगों को?
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't hold grudges because this I learned long ago. Otherwise, unnecessarily it gives rise to blood pressure, ulcers, and stomach upset, loss, etc. And in our industry, health is of paramount importance. So I have to protect it.
Great, great. Now, sir, the next question is on a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you rate yourself with regard to forgiving others?
1 is the lowest or 10 is the lowest?
No, 10 on 10 should be like, 1 is like, kam maaf karte hain. 10 on 10.
Then I put it at 9 because I still got some time to go ahead now. So you never know when you fall a loss of through gravity, you can come down to 1 very fast. So that leaves me with some scope to get to 10. If I say 10 out of 10, then I'll be gone. So I don't want to be known like that.
Ji, sir. Very nice. Thank you very, very much, sir, for the main interview part. Now we have the rapid fire round.
Oh.
You just have to answer in 1 word or 2 words.
Okay.
It will be a quick session.
Okay.
You love chocolates or you like ice cream?
Chocolates.
Strawberry flavor or chocolate flavor?
Strawberry.
Okay. You like summer, winter or rainy?
Winter.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. And anyone says winter, I'm very happy because summer is quite difficult for certain people.
And here you get actually the best of vegetables. The green vegetables you get only during winter. So cauliflower, palak, coriander, all we have during that period.
Yes.
And, I cook also reasonably well. So next month, my palak paneer dishes will start.
Great, great, sir. That's nice. We have a question coming up regarding that now. Yes, sir. Would you love to travel by land, water, or air?
Land, definitely.
Would love to stay in the city or in a village?
I guess after another 10 years, definitely village, because urbanization has taken its toll.
Yes. So here you have to answer with a yes or no. When you help others, do you expect something in return?
No.
What is your idea of a beautiful day?
No grudges against anyone. No.
Sir, superb, sir. This I love. I'm going to follow this now. No grudges against anyone, no matter what. Just forgive everyone and just be at peace, right?
Yes.
I really love that. Very nice. So
yeah,
now,
I don't know whether you have heard this, whether you call it a bhajan or a song, I don't know. Itni shakti hame dena data. You have heard that one?
Yes, yes.
Vishwas kamzor hona. Then I can't remember it now because I have not played it at my training program for a pretty long time. I generally play this also right at the beginning.
Great, great, sir. So we should ask the Almighty to give us the power to forgive others, not to hold any grudges. That is the biggest thing. We should really ask the Almighty to shower and bless each one of us. Have the skill of forgiving others and be grateful for what we have. So, sir, are you a good cook? Yes or no?
Yes. Edible food.
Pardon, sir?
Edible food, I said. Others claim they are good cooks, but the food is not necessarily edible.
Great, sir. Fine, sir. So, now I would like to ask you: are you very active in the morning, afternoon, or evening time?
Evening, because generally we play football in the evening, so I think I'm hyperactive at that time.
You love salty food or sweet food?
Sweet food.
You prioritize money, happiness, or both?
Happiness.
Happiness. You're an introvert, extrovert, or a mix of both?
Mix of both.
Yes, sir. Now, sir,
situational, because
situational.
Yeah.
Yes. Very well said, sir. Very well said. Based on the situation, that's how we respond and we behave. Yes, sir. Now, sir, most of the time we find ourselves thinking. We are in the process of thinking something deeply or getting lost in our thoughts. Or some of us live in our mind, most of us.
Right.
Now, when we are, connected very consciously with our mind, do you find yourself in the past, in the present, or in the future? Where are your thoughts?
Partially, see, most of the times, as human beings, we delve into the past because there are those tapes, as we call it, no, in transactional analysis. So, but not much. In fact, I have changed the thinking now that if your present is good, then tomorrow that same present will become the past and it will lead to a bright future. So right now I'm trying to ground myself more into the present only, because otherwise it reminds me of that song like what Amitabh Bachchan sang in that film Silsila. Tum hoti to aisa hota, tum hoti to vaisa hota. No, so continuously you can't say that, oh, because of this conditions apply, this happened to me, etc.
Right, right. So now, you love socializing or you love me time?
Socializing.
Great, sir. Great, sir. We have the next question coming up for you, sir, is, are you street smart or book smart or both?
I guess both, but more street smart. That's why my wife never buys, we never send her to the market to buy vegetables. Others people will take her for a ride.
Great, sir. Yes, sir. So are you a thinker, more of a doer, or both?
Both.
You love fresh fruits, salads, or fried food?
Oh, this is a very tricky question to ask, because I wish here you were given a choice of both. Yeah, but fresh fruits.
Fresh fruits, yes, sir. So are you an early bird or a night owl?
Early bird, early bird. Though I sleep like a night owl, but I'm an early bird. I get up at 5:30 in the morning, irrespective of whether I sleep late nights also. I generally don't keep late nights, but average is early bird.
Great, great. Wonderful, sir. So you love home cooked food or you would love to order from outside?
Home cooked, undoubtedly.
If at all you were given a chance to visit a beach or a forest, which one would you choose?
Beach, but forest is uncertain.
Yes, sir. Would you prioritize singing or dancing or both?
Dancing.
Oh, great. So are you a good dancer too?
Reasonable, reasonable. I actually dance to de-stress myself.
Great. That's a beautiful de-stressor. Yes, sir. I agree. We'd love to see you once, hopefully when we have a face-to-face interview.
Sure.
Yes, sir. Very nice, sir. So, dear sir, if at all you're given an option with one nice book over there on a table and music as well, which one would you choose?
Music.
Music. Okay, great, sir. So now we have come to an end to our session. I'd really like to thank you so much. But before signing off from this platform, I would like to request you to answer this one last question. As we all know, the three magical words are please, sorry, and thank you.
Right.
पुराने जमाने से चल के आ रही है 3 words. Please, sorry, thank you. इसके अलावा, apart from this, we would love our guest today to give us 3 more magical words. 3 new magical words for us to, contemplate and work on. Okay. Only 3 words.
Okay. See, now since we are dealing in this concept of teamwork, etc., so I always feel that whenever we find that somebody else's views are better than the way we think. So I always use this in my classes. So if you please or if you wish, that means you should be able to break free from your thinking. And if there are better ways of doing things, then you should say, oh yeah, if you wish, let's do it like this. Or if you please, let's do it like this. So these are the 3 words that I would leave the audience with.
Great, great. Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated. And thank you, in spite of having a busy schedule, you have given us your time. Thank you so much, dear. Yes, sir. We'll ask one last message from us, sir. One last sentence, sir. One more last sentence. One message, a one-liner for our team, the youth, senior citizens. Bas ek line.
I guess, as I mentioned, that inspiration from Jensen and Nicholson. When it can't be done, it must be done.
When it can't be done, it must be done. Yes, dear friends, we sign off on this beautiful line. When it can't be done, it must be done. And it must be done. Don't give up on your dreams. Pursue them. Persistence is always the, best way to go behind your dreams. So we'd like to thank our special guest today, Mr. Dilip Pinto, for being with us and sharing the stage.
And thank you for inviting me once again. And I hope I've done justice to your time as well as, whoever is going to watch this. Yes,
sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome.
Yes. Thank you very much. Signing off, dear friends, from the International Fab Talk Show. We will meet again soon with yet another guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless.
Bye.